Hi there, friends. Here we are, already Monday again. So, this time I want us to talk a bit about dads who aren't really crazy about unschooling. Sometimes we tend to drag them along begrudgingly, maybe a little muttering in opposition, or maybe it's a downright, are you out of your mind? And yes, occasionally the dad is pro unschooling and the mom is dragging her feet. But 90% of the time, it's the mom who likes it and the dad who's resistant. So all the information I've collected for you, it's applicable either way. But for this, I'm going to go with the majority and talk about reluctant dads. So let's look at what's going on and how we can handle it. First, the obvious acknowledgement, they're his kids too. He may have been fine with you taking the lead with regards to childcare, but that was when most of the decisions were pretty conventional. But now you seem to have veered off the path, and he's not sure what that's all about. So you've been reading and researching and absorbing, and he hasn't. You've joined groups, you've read blogs, and frankly, you love the idea of unschooling. When you eagerly share what you found, he pokes holes in the idea. He's not convinced. And you may still be really new at this, so you're enthusiastic, but not necessarily knowledgeable about all the questions he wants answers to. And yes, I know that can feel disappointing. We want our spouses to be as gung-ho about our ideas as we are. Well, I guess that's another life lesson, right? I've been married for over 30 years, and I have to tell you, we do not always see eye to eye, but we listen to each other and we find the common ground. And that, of course, is a good starting place. So because you've been exploring all these resources, you've conquered some of your own initial fears. He's just not there yet. So remember that when we're fearful, what do we want to do? We want to control the situation. That's human nature. So step one, let's identify the fears. Specifically, what is he worried about? Some of his concerns may seem shallow or irrational to you now that you're a little further along, but that's okay. He is worried about the future of his own offspring. He deserves to be heard. And isn't that really what all of us want anyway, just to be heard, to have someone listen to us? So the workbook and the links below, it'll give you some help to get to the bottom of what his fears are. And you can always come back to me if he wants to know things like, how will he ever play sports? Or how's he going to learn about teamwork if he doesn't? Or will he be bullied for being an outlier? Or how will he get into college? Maybe he has other misconceptions that need to be cleared up. So here's a tip for arguing 101. Don't quickly jump in with your rebuttal. Give him time to say all that he wants to say. Then it's best to be on the same side. You're not really adversaries in this. You both want what's best for your children. You might say something like, I agree. I was worried about that too. And I read something, and then you say a little bit about what you read. Or you say, I'll see what I can find about it and get back to you. Remember, too, you can always use that concept of, let's try it as an experiment, not a forever commitment. Let's just see how it goes. And then as he sees kids learning and making friends and enjoying their lives, and the connection within the family is just improving, he may begin to feel better about all of it. So let's say you've gotten past the initial fears and you started sending him articles to read or podcasts to listen to, and he's not interested in doing that really. In his mind, that's your area. He finances it. He's maybe even working extra hours so you can be the stay-at-home parent. So let's do a little backstory. Maybe you started as a homeschooler and gradually moved towards unschooling. Or the kids are getting older and it's harder to see the learning that's happening. And he comes home and he wants to see what they've been working on. And no, he doesn't mean their Minecraft level advancement. What schoolish thing have they done? I know that's a familiar question that a lot of you get. Show me the learning. You started on this path and maybe he seemed on board. While he didn't really relish the idea of poring over resources, your confidence and enthusiasm, maybe it rubbed off on him. So he set his skepticism aside for a while. You continued to read and learn, and you've chatted with experienced homeschoolers and unschoolers, and your confidence is actually growing a little, mainly because you see the learning that's happening in your home every day because you're there, but he's at work. Typically the child raising is left to the mom or the stay-at-home parent, and your spouse may want to be more involved, but he's not really sure what to do to connect with them. And then inevitably, the kids don't know something that is generally expected of kids their age, or you're having a day with a lower than usual confidence level, or he's having a bad day and seems to notice all the flaws. Then suddenly, his lack of information, his lack of a good foundation with regards to unschooling or even homeschooling becomes really glaring. So the answer seems to be to drop little seeds of information along the way. So if you could do this from the start, the path won't be as bumpy. Once you've found what his fears are, be sure to give examples that help him see there's nothing to fear. Little by little, you can help strengthen his foundation. You may even need to step back into your own early deschooling stage, where finding examples of various subjects popping up in your home or in the activities that your kids enjoy, you can share those. When you share these preemptively, it's going to help a lot. Sometimes dads can just feel left out, or anytime that the parent that works outside the home, they might feel left out. The stay-at-home parent and the kids begin to develop a bond that's really strong. And if dad comes home saying, why is everyone still in PJs? Or what exactly did everyone learn today? Then he notices that the kids and the mom exchange looks of, oh my gosh, there he goes again. And then the disconnect gets worse in his own home. And that doesn't feel good at all. So maybe the answer is to include him throughout the day. Things like texting him something funny that one of the kids said or did, or send him or her a short video of you and the kids waving and saying, can't wait till you get home, or share an example of something one of the kids accomplished, emphasizing that they had persistence and they worked hard at it, or help them figure out something to do with everyone once the working parent gets home so they can be included and they will have more connection. Helping facilitate that kind of connection is really going to go a long way. It will help the kids feel closer to the parent that's gone all day and vice versa. And it will help the parent engage in interactions that show how bright and curious the kids are. It all boils down to fear, doesn't it? Always. So look at what you can do to minimize it or throw a little light on it. Know that lots of unschooling families start out this way. So don't worry that this isn't going to work before you've even begun. Time is going to help you. And help dad by including him, listening to him. He loves the kids. He loves you. It's worth the time it takes to figure out where the obstacles are and how to get past them. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. And I will see you next week.